All right, afternoon, everyone. So my name is Georgina. I am from Tomorrow Now. Very excited to present today on what does it mean to bridge weather security and communities most in need. I have very fond memories of my last in-person GAC-off in Mombasa a couple of years ago, but very pleased I can join virtually today from sunny England. So who are we at Tomorrow Now? Well, we're motivated by the urgent need for climate action now. And I'm clearly preaching to the choir here, but I do think it's worth saying out loud that climate change is impacting lives today, and the inequalities are astronomical. Billions of people are still not able to proactively prepare for weather disasters. And at tomorrownow.org, we're saying that we can do more today to ensure that communities most at risk can better prepare and ensure resilience within their communities. But we're not losing sight of what we need to do tomorrow to transform systems. Weather systems today are not affordable, sustainable, or inclusive. And clearly simplifying it, but those are the kind of three kind of key challenges that we're trying to work through. And we're asking the question, how can we work better together to transform systems, weather systems for tomorrow, and to address this kind of age-old challenge associated with poor input data, poor access to actionable information, to ensure that everyone can take climate action and everyone has that resilience. So I wanted to take the next few minutes to inspire and trigger ideas with the community here GAC-off on kind of these two fronts for how can we partner to help today, but also how can we transform tomorrow for the benefit of those most in need. Because what's really driving us here is the phenomenal opportunity that's ahead and the brilliant advancements that have occurred in recent years across the hydromet sectors, and clearly many leaders are part of the GAC-off network, IGAD, ICPAC, and Tomorrow.io, which is a global weather security company, is heavily invested in the weather technology that is really leapfrogging these traditional solutions, both with downstream software to improve real-time decision-making, but also the upstream novel observations that are necessary to power the decision-making. We as Tomorrow Now have a unique partnership with Tomorrow.io, which allows us to apply weather intelligence tools, these novel observations, for public good. And what I want you to see tomorrownow.org as is a platform for collaborative action. So whatever part of the hydromet value chain you're focused on, upstream or downstream, we're kind of eager to partner with you to accelerate these leapfrog approaches and that are absolutely necessary to address the urgency of the climate challenges that are in front of us. So I wanted to just show you very, very briefly a quick visual of the climate action platform that Tomorrow.io is very eager to apply for humanitarian purposes. You can see for yourself here how it's used by governments, industry, individuals globally to manage their weather risk, and hopefully it will inspire ideas for collaboration. So here what you can see is a map view. It's a web-based platform for monitoring all the key weather parameters that we're familiar with in the context of decision making. So you can see here the dozens of weather parameters, from basic precipitation to the dynamic wind layer, lightning models, minute by minute, hour by hour. But what's powerful about this platform, that it's not just about monitoring the weather, it's about weather intelligence. So the platform itself has, if I can make sure that, there you go. Sorry, my internet froze for a minute there. So there are thousands of industry protocols that are captured as insights, specific actions by industry triggered by weather. So clear your gutters and close your greenhouse windows because you're expecting heavy rain and winds in the next 24 hours. Alerts can be shared both as a calendar view, but also triggered as SMS or email, and managed all in one platform and being triggered automatically based on what is happening in real time. And of course, the back end here is driven by a weather engine, proprietary models, and novel observations. Now, there are kind of, in the interest of time, I can happy to follow up and share more on the platform, but I did want to kind of emphasize three key ideas here. One is that we really do believe the impact for resilience will come from weather intelligence and not weather monitoring. So we're asking what actions must be taken, what protocols must be triggered to mitigate the climate risk in real time. And to do that, we need to be communicating with the people on the ground who are taking this action. And we then need to innovate upstream on the forecast, as well as the dissemination, to ensure that people can take these actions on time. This has to be the focus. My second point is that to enable this actionable information, we need to heavily invest in improving observation density. And to do this, we are pushing for innovations in the skies. And I don't have time to go into too much detail today on tomorrow's space program, but what I will say is it will fundamentally change the landscape of how we monitor and communicate weather globally. Here you can see an hourly rainfall at about 0.33 kilometer resolution, showing a flood event in East Africa. This is hourly data that's going to be generated by tomorrow.io, and paired with insights and alerting software, will be able to trigger the just-in-time warnings that we all know are absolutely necessary. And finally, we must continue to bridge operational data and tools with the communities most in need. And there is real opportunity with these innovations coming from the private sector. Software as a service will be critical long-term to make this kind of weather intelligence and technology affordable and also high quality long-term. Most projects fail to in the context of becoming operational due to the funding sources running out over time, whether that's to secure ground stations or sustain weather models. So there really is an opportunity to leverage existing private sector software as a service technologies for public good. And that's kind of what we're doing at Tomorrow Now with that bridge. And with partners, we apply weather SaaS for humanitarian application. And you can see an example here on the screen of our work in the context of the locust crisis, where we partnered with CGIAR and partners on the ground in Kenya to adapt Tomorrow's platform for locust monitoring and alerts for farmers, which didn't just include leveraging the platform, but also digitized learning content to ensure practical actions could be taken at a farm level. And here you can see a snapshot of activities of us working with these farmers to improve just-in-time actions, which I can kind of go into in a follow-up. So to close, ultimately we are trying to address this kind of age-old problem that we're all familiar with, which is the inequalities of weather that leads to our inability to take action on time, climate action on time. The data says it all. 91% of deaths from weather and climate happen in emerging markets. And we really passionately believe that with these leapfrog innovations across the weather value chain, that we can ensure people most at risk can proactively be prepared. But we must act now and with urgency for resilience, because it's absolutely necessary given the SDG goals that are in front of us. So I will close there, but by saying tomorrownow.org has a unique relationship with tomorrow.io, and together we're very eager to work with partners around the world on the ground to apply these advanced weather intelligence for the benefit of people most in need. And we have partnerships across the globe to make that happen, and very excited to follow up and see if we can partner with folks on this call today. So thank you very much, and very happy to address questions and follow up in the future forums.